The great house at Collinwood, in the strange and disturbing world of parallel time. It is here that Barnabas Collins has been witness to an ever-growing mystery concerning the true identity of Alexis Stokes. And on this night, he will ask a terrifying question, which will bring an even more terrifying answer. An answer that will endanger his own existence.
I am looking into the eyes of Angelique. It is the truth of Angelique that I must know. Look at me closer. Closer. Closer.
Stop looking in my eyes! My eyes, stop!
Why? Because it is the eyes of Angelique I'm looking into.
You know.
Yes, Angelique, I know.
How did you discover that I am Angelique?
I am an astute observer.
Who are you? Or perhaps I should say, what are you?
A cousin of Quentin's and a friend of his and Maggie's.
Oh, any man who can sear my eyes by staring into the eyes of my portrait in another room, and who can stand in my presence completely without fear, is more than just a friend and a cousin. He is not human.
Let us concentrate on you for the moment and tell you my reason for summoning you here.
Very well. What is your reason?
I want you to stop this plot of yours.
What plot?
To destroy Maggie and take Quentin for yourself.
And if I refuse to heed your warning, what will you do then?
Then I will be forced to stop you myself.
How? By telling Quentin? He will laugh at you after he gets over his exasperation. He's convinced that I'm Alexis. If you don't believe me, tell him that I'm Angelique and see what he says.
There are other ways of stopping you, I'm sure.
What confidence you have in your powers, whatever they are. But remember, I too have powers, and they are stronger than yours.
We shall see, Angelique. We shall see. Good night.
Hello?
Father?
Who is this?
Why don't you recognize my voice?
Alexis, of course. I heard you'd come back.
I must see you immediately.
Sorry, but you should know by now that I'm not interested.
Well, would you be interested if I had something to tell you about Angelique?
Angelique? What about Angelique?
I'll tell you when you come to Collinwood. Meet me in Angelique's room in half an hour.
Very well. I'll be there.
Quentin, we've been worried about you. Where's Maggie? I believe she's gone to bed.
Is she all right?
I don't know. You better go and look yourself.
Yeah, I will in a few minutes.
Quentin,
What is it?
had you ever met Alexis before she visited here?
No. Why do you ask?
Oh, no reason. I'm just curious. Good night.
Good night.
Let's have it. What's this, information you have about your sister?
What? Not a word of greeting after such a long separation.
Really, Alexis, don't you think a show of fatherly affection on my part would be more than mildly hypocritical? We've never made any secret of the way we feel about each other.
Yes, that's true. It was always Angelique you cared about, wasn't it? Well, allow me to congratulate you, Father.
What for?
Well, on the success of your experiment. With your darling Angelique. I have come back.
Angelique?
Yes.
You're Angelique?
Yes. But for safety's sake, you had better call me Alexis.
But everyone assured me that it was Alexis who came back from Florence.
It was. Just in time to give me the warmth of a sisterly touch. All the human life I needed.
And Alexis was the one who opened the coffin.
Unfortunately. Does it bother you that she's dead?
Of course it does. I was only her stepfather, but I didn't want her to die.
But we are back together again, you and I.
Yes, my dear, we are.
And we have work to do.
What do you mean?
Well, as you know, Quentin is married again. And I plan to get him back, of course.
Of course.
But someone is interfering with my plans. Someone who has unusual, and I suspect supernatural powers.
Who?
His name is Barnabas Collins.
Barnabas Collins. That's the name of the man in Will Loomis's book.
Yes, this man claims to be descended from him.
Claims to be.
But he's so strange. His manner, the way he just arrived. Also, the fascination he seems to have with this room.
I don't understand.
Very odd things have been happening in this room. Quentin, Barnabas, and I have all witnessed them at different times.
Tell me about these odd occurrences.
Well, I can only tell you my own experience. I was coming down the corridor. I opened the door to this room, and I found that it had completely changed. It was empty. No furniture, no draperies. It was deserted. Then Hoffman came into the room. Only she wasn't the Hoffman that we know. She was dressed differently, and her hair was different. Besides, I had just left our Hoffman downstairs in the foyer minutes earlier.
Fascinating. This is absolutely fascinating.
Why, do you know what it means?
The theory of parallel time.
Parallel time?
Yes. According to the theory, my dear, the same people can travel down different time bands simultaneously. Their lives are different in each time band, of course, depending on the choices they make.
Worried. I was so afraid that something had happened to you. Why did you do that? Just leave like that?
Maggie. Maggie, did anyone tell you whose dress you had on?
Oh, I know. It was the one that Angelique wore last year.
Then why did you wear it?
Quentin, I didn't have a costume. Alexis helped me select it from the trunk.
Oh, I see.
Well, she didn't know any more than I did that it was Angelique.
All right, I see.
Is that all you have to say? Quentin?
Look, I'm very tired. I've been driving all night.
Quentin, I know that any mention of Angelique's name is painful to you, but you don't know what happened after you left last night. I very nearly killed myself.
What? Oh, what are you talking about?
I was in Angelique's room, and I heard her voice.
Now, Maggie.
Quentin, I heard her voice through the portrait over the mantel.
Maggie, that is impossible.
She was telling me that I had nothing to live for because...
Maggie, you were imagining that.
Quentin, please, I wasn't. Quentin, doesn't it mean anything to you that you could have come home and found me dead beneath her window?
Now, listen to me. Now, look, I'm struggling very hard to get things free for myself. I'm struggling very hard to understand certain things. Now, I want you to live and be happy. But every time I seem to end up hurting you. Now, look, I'm willing to start all over again. What more can I do?
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Who are you?
Permit me to introduce myself. I'm Timothy Elliot Stokes. The gentleman who owns this house, Will Loomis, is an old friend of mine.
Well, isn't it a bit strange for you to be wandering around at an old friend's house just before dawn?
Will Loomis doesn't keep regular hours. At least he didn't used to. Perhaps he's changed.
Perhaps he has.
Am I right in assuming that you're Barnabas Collins?
You are? How did you know me?
I suppose you could say I recognized you from the description in Will's book. You know, you look very 18th century. But I don't suppose you dress that way all the time.
There was a costume ball last night at Collinwood.
Yes, the annual costume ball. It was started some years ago by my daughter, the late mistress of Collinwood.
So you are the father of Angelique and Alexis.
Their stepfather. Her stepfather. Only one of them left now.
Yes, only one of them.
I beg your pardon for asking, but have we met before?
I don't believe so. Why?
When you came into the room a minute ago, you looked at me as if you recognized me.
On the contrary, it was a look of surprise at finding someone wandering around the house, a total stranger at an unusual hour.
Well, I'm very sorry. Will's always been very generous. Let me come and go in this house as I pleased. But by the way, is he here?
Yes, but he's sleeping right now, and I don't believe he wants to be disturbed. If you will forgive me, I would like to get some rest myself.
Oh, by all means. Do give my regards to old Will, won't you?
I certainly will.
Cyrus, what's happening to you?
Something has to be wrong. We haven't seen each other for days. I don't even know whether we're still engaged. Cyrus? Is there someone else?
You want me to answer that?
No, because it's too stupid. It is stupid, isn't it, Cyrus? Cyrus, please answer me.
Well, that's the door. See if someone's there. Go on.
Hello, Maggie.
Cyrus, when I told Quentin about the voice in the portrait, he said that I imagined it. But I didn't. How can I reach him?
Maybe you can.
What do you mean?
Maybe you just better accept the fact that Quentin will always be involved with Angelique.
I can't believe you mean that.
Why not? Huh? I mean, there are other men in the world besides Quentin. Isn't it possible that somewhere in this world that there's a man that would make you as happy as Quentin can?
Cyrus, this doesn't sound like you at all. Cyrus, are you feeling all right?
I'm fine. I'm fine, Maggie.
Cyrus, you're ill.
No, I'm fine. I'm all right. Maggie, I'm sorry that I've got some things I have to do in the lab alone. You can understand that, can't you, Maggie? I'm sorry.
Cyrus, what's wrong? No. No. No, Cyrus. No.
Yeah.
Oh, Cyrus, I don't believe it. It's not true. Cyrus.
The name is Yeager. John Yeager.
The experiment. The compound.
A success beyond my wildest dreams.
Cyrus, don't go. I love you no matter what happens. Please, I understand.
You understand? Couldn't possibly understand.
Cyrus, down there.
Find out what she wants. Go on!
Cyrus, I was terribly worried about you, and I thought I'd better stop by and see if you were all right. Cyrus. Sabrina, where is Cyrus?
Why, he's not here. He just left by the side door.
Has he been ill today?
Well, not that I know of. Why?
Because he's never behaved that way before, the way he did when I was here earlier.
He's been working very hard.
Quentin.
Maggie.
Hello, Colonel.
Hello, Sabrina. Is Cyrus here?
No, he went to the chemist.
Well, good. I'll wait for him.
He might not be back for some time. He was going to wait there until they made up this compound for him. Look, why don't you two go upstairs? I'll be up shortly.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing.
What are you so nervous about?
It's nothing, really.
Maggie. What are you doing here? All right, what's going on? Now, you two know something that I don't. Now, which one of you is going to tell me?
I'll tell you, Quentin. I came here so I could talk to Cyrus about my experience in Angelique's room. I'd hoped that he would talk to you and try to convince you that it really happened.
Maggie, I thought we discussed that subject last night.
Quentin, how can I forget it? It really did happen, and sooner or later you've got to accept that.
Accept it. I don't even consider it worth talking about.
Quentin. Quentin, please wait.
Don't worry, my dearest Maggie. You won't be putting up with the likes of Quentin much longer. John Yeager will see to that.
Cyrus! Oh, Cyrus.
Good evening, Quentin. Good evening, Barnabas.
I've been away all day, and I was wondering how you and Maggie got along last night.
Well, we had a long talk last night. I thought she was getting better, but, well...
Oh, what happened?
Well, she has a fixation on my first wife. She thinks she hears Angelique's voice coming out of that portrait.
That's unfortunate.
Yes. She's upstairs now, sleeping. Perhaps after a couple of days' rest, she'll be all right. I don't know.
Let's hope so.
I was just on my way to pay a visit to Dr. Longworth.
I'll walk part of the way with you.
Fine.
Now, John Yeager. Now.